Back at LakePoint Sports with the first weekend of the fall schedule, and what better way to spend it than baseball and breakfast. Welcome into the Baseball Village. I'm Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. We've got our game of the week for you in the Labor Day Challenge as Dinger Scouts takes on Mauler Select. We are minutes away from first pitch in this matchup. Like every competition here at LakePoint Sports, is a stage for great performances and for players to show their greatness in other ways too. We have teamed up with Johnsonville in their push to keep the internet juicy. Let's go inside that mission with this trailer from Johnsonville. Any and everyone is encouraged to help us find these moments of great sportsmanship. So make sure you use that QR code to access the submission form or log on to LakePointSports.com or any of the LakePoint Sports social media channels on how you can access the submission form and help to keep the internet juicy. Now we're going to head to our game action for today. Again, we've got our game of the day in the Labor Day Challenge, and everything is already underway. And we've now got Johnny Gandy at the plate for Dinger Scout, Nate Johnson on the mound for Mauler Select. Count is 2-2 to Gandy. Again, joined here by Grayson Rosen. Grayson, I love our fire drills for some of these broadcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing an early morning one today, so coming at them a little bit differently. It's Bryson Ivy, by the way, on the mound for Mauler Select. Swing and a miss by Gandy. He goes down on strikes. He's going to be followed by Asher Stevens and then Chase Alonzo. Let's take a rundown here of the Mauler Select defense. Again, you got Bryson Ivy on the mound. Davis Reeves behind the plate. Playing first base is Connor Mitchell. Second base, Cullen McGee. Third base is Dalton Dial. In right field, you got Gage Flowers. Playing center is Nate Johnson. In left field is Bane Bush. And Donfu Izuka is the DH for, again, the right-handed pitcher you're seeing in action right here now, Bryson Ivy. We saw Johnny Gandy lead things off for Dinger Scout. Following him is Asher Stevens, then Chase Alonzo, Mason Kernley, Logan Arnett, who's also pitching, Dom Mangini, the extra hitter. Ansley Curran will be behind the plate. Cole Roberts playing left field. I'll rip down the left side. Wesley Theory playing first base, and Dylan Verdi at third.
You were talking about the fire drill that it takes to get these broadcasts going. It's also been we're over a month since our last broadcast. It was also one of the watch parties because we had the weather that cut short our broadcast for future games that as he gets hit, looked like on the shoulder.
Yeah, Asher Stevens gets hit by a pitch, and now here comes Chase Alonzo. Yeah, it's been a bit since we've done one of these. If you got any of our future games watch parties, really cool concept. We were able to bring multiple fields to the viewing audience at once there. We did the workout days. We did all 4 fields during the future games action. We did 3 fields at once, so a huge endeavor to get those going. And mentioned future games, the junior future gamers. There are a ton of them on this Dinger squad. 6 in total came in on the roster. We're going to see today Chase Alonzo at the plate, who's been to the junior future games twice. Logan Arnett, who's been there as well. Johnny Gandy, who we already saw. And then Wesley Theory, who just played in the junior future games, along with Chase Alonzo. I think we might have had a cleat issue here. Was that what we got going on with Bryson Ivy? Maybe some footing issues. That mound is going to be a little bit slick, the morning dew. We saw him kind of lose his footing as he hit Asher Stevens on that pitch, so might have come into play a little bit there as we get things going.
Yeah, a lot of guys think they can maybe get away with tennis shoes on the turf in the morning, but it's tough. It's really difficult to keep your grip there if you're just wearing some worn out tennis shoes.
All right, so I think we have completed cleat gate All right, you're not allowed to wear cleats. I can't say cleats because they're.
Yeah.
But you can wear the rubber molded variety. But yeah, most guys are going to try to wear their turf shoes on the mounds here. All right, see if Bryson Ivy has rectified the situation. Again, he's got Chase Alonso. He's got Asher Stevens at first base, who was hit by a pitch. Gianni Gandy went down on strikes for the first out. Toss over to first. Keep him honest. This Maulers Select team, largely made up of players out of South Carolina, a few from North Carolina as well. Guy to watch in their lineup, going to hit second, is going to be Cooper Henderson, and we'll get into more on the number 8 second baseman in South Carolina when Mauler selects at the plate. Stevens takes off for second, easily takes that bag.
And you saw even right there, the morning dew on the turf, making him slide almost all the way through second base.
Yeah, Dingers is here so often, though. Those kids, they understand what happens and kind of the intricacies of playing at LakePoint Sports, where you can slide over top of the bag, and they're all too familiar with it. And a number of these Maulers players, this is their first time playing here at LakePoint Sports. Lonzo puts that one into play, going to drop that into center field. Stevens on his way home, and we're going to have our first run of the game, and Dingers is on the board, up 1-0 off the bat of Chase Alonso.
Yeah, that's a perfectly executed hit and run, whether it was called or not. I know a lot of times in the 14U, you're probably not calling hit and runs as a third base coach, but whoever made that decision made the right one right there.
Now here comes Mason Kernley out of Decatur High School, 2028. And let's point that out. This is the upper class division of the Labor Day Challenge.
Yes.
This Dinger Scout team entirely made up of 2027s and largely 2028. So these guys are all playing up against some older competition because everybody on this Mauler Select team is a 2026.
Yeah, a number of these players on this Dinger squad have just started high school like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I mentioned Cooper Henderson. He's a 2025. So you got some 2028s in this game playing against a 2025. Taking off for second, Alonso is got him at the bag. Nice throw behind the plate there from Davis Reeves to mow the runner down, and now 2 down. So yeah, a big part of this is that these kids are playing up competition level for Dingers.
Yeah, and they're holding their own. They won their first game, 4-0 against Coastal Stars. They've looked really good up to this point. The pitching has just been on fire. They had Liam Collier start on the mound yesterday. Today, Logan Arnett's going to be on the mound. So Dingers definitely have something set up for them with a pretty solid squad, even though they're playing up.
1-1 is the count. Ivy facing again Mason Kernley from Decatur. Loses his grip on that one. Kernley, this is his 6th prep baseball event, the 6'2", 175-pounder.
We've got a couple guys on this Dingers squad that have been at quite a few events just this year.
Yeah, we'll get into a couple of them later, but some of them are just when you look at the full resume of their prep baseball events is just absolutely staggering, the amount of events that they've been to. But again, this Dinger squad is here quite a bit, so these guys are all too familiar with the turf and all too familiar with playing here. It goes down on strike, so that's going to get us through this half an inning. There's so much going on here at the Baseball Village. Let's take a look here at Simone Stanley as she caught up with the guys from the Rawlings store.
What's up, everyone? Simone Stanley here at LakePoint Sports. We are out here at Baseball Village. We're hanging out with Rawlings and Jared Burney. Jared, how you feeling today?
Feel good. It's nice and hot out, though. Getting a little humid in here.
So do you feel good or you feel hot and humid?
I feel good just getting here, so hopefully as the day goes on, it doesn't get too hot and too humid. So we'll see.
So this is your second time working the Rawlings kiosk here. What brings you back?
Well, the guys, Bobby Bennett and Rick Holler, are the ones that kind of set it up and everything. They're great guys, so some nice money on the side as well, so it's good for me.
All about the paper, right?
Exactly.
So what do you like about Rawlings? You played baseball. I'm sure you're familiar with the brand.
I do play baseball. I didn't get into Rawlings specifically until recently, but I love the gloves. They're nice and sturdy, and they got lots of colors and everything, so a different variety, which I love. But, yeah.
What do you like about working out here at Baseball Village?
Well, I just love being in, like, the baseball atmosphere, just being around baseball. And as a player, it's just fun to watch other players in the game, especially the youth as they grow and progress. But just love being around that game of baseball.
And y'all always have a lot of traction here at this kiosk, probably one of the popular ones. What's it like interacting with the players and the kids and the families?
Oh, it's awesome, especially their faces when they see all the gloves and the different colors and everything. It's just awesome to see everybody come in. And it's nice, so I get to talk to people, especially like all around the world, because I guess LakePoint's a big attraction for baseball players all around the country, especially. And so it's just nice. I actually had a guy in here earlier from New York, so he comes down here a lot.
Ooh, that's a trip.
Yeah, it is.
But it's worth it, you know?
Exactly.
These facilities.
Good baseball down here as well.
So if you had to pick a glove, that's your favorite, which one?
Favorite? Ooh, that's a tough pick. But I'm probably going to say this one right here, because my school was blue that I went to at Reinhardt University, so it has a little hint of blue in there. And then this design right here is also pretty new. Pretty new design as well. So it's
the details.
exactly, that's all the gloves are about right there.
All about the details. Well, guys, I'm Simone. He is Jared. We are here at Baseball Village. Thank you guys so much.
Back to LakePoint Sports. Again, Dingers leading 1-0 off the bat of Chase Alonso as we continue here in our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen here in studio with you. Nate Johnson going to lead things off for Mauler Select. He's going to be followed by Cooper Henderson and Cullen McGee. Logan Arnett on the mound for Dingers. And this is a big arm. Again, I mentioned the guys in this squad with junior feature games experience, and Logan Arnett, most certainly one of them. Arnett comes into this one out of Harrison High School, primarily a catcher, but a 2023 junior feature gamer, loses his lid on that one.
Yeah, I've seen him get up on the mound quite a few times in his times up here at LakePoint in the spring, so definitely no stranger to a good outing up there.
So you notice the jersey does not match the pants. So
Yes.
Yesterday he was wearing, I believe, number 27. So yeah, so I don't know. This is a practice jersey that they threw on him, but yeah, so a little bit of a different look here for Logan Arnett on the mound. Defensively behind him, we've got Ansley Curran is behind the plate. You got at first base Wesley Theory. Playing second is Johnny Gandy. Third base is Dylan Verdi. Chase Alonso at shortstop. In the outfield goes Mason Kernley. In right field, Asher Stevens in center, and Cole Roberts is playing left. So no DH for them, as Logan Arnett will hit for himself, and we will see him in the second inning.
Yeah, Cole Roberts, definitely one of the frequent flyers
Yes,
here at LakePoint.
yeah,
He's been here
absolutely.
6 times since this spring.
18 prep baseball events on his overall resume. So, yeah, we see a lot of Cole Roberts here at LakePoint Sports. He's made our highlights a few times, I know, on our social media accounts. So, yeah, there's got to be, like, badges or something like, not say merit badges, but, I drive a Jeep, and so guys will do they'll do the trails, and you get the trail stickers.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some, like, once you hit a certain threshold of prep baseball events, that you got to get something sticker you throw on your helmet or something.
Maybe.
Rips that one back in the middle off of
knocked his
Arnett's glove. He's going to grab it barehanded, slips on the turf, though. Man, that was a little bit of everything happening all at once there for Logan Arnett. He's going to blame the turf, and I'll back him up. We'll blame the wet turf on that one, but I don't know how the glove fell off, but falling to the turf, Logan, you're allowed to blame geosurfaces for that one, because the morning dew was sitting on that turf, and you wind up on your keister.
Yeah, that was just unlucky all the way through. He gets his glove knocked off. It seemed like the ball just kind of came on the inside of his wrist and just kind of hit the bottom of his glove, couldn't really do anything about it, and then trying to make a play on the ball and just kind of loses his footing right there.
So is he wearing just
I think those are the Jordan mid cleats.
the cleats? Okay, because I saw the Jordan mids and thought maybe he was just wearing those, but if he's wearing the rubber molded cleats, then that's okay. But I thought maybe it might have been, because there's no traction on a pair of Jordan 1s on this field.
True.
So
Now, it looks like he's got the molded cleats on, but no matter what shoes you're wearing, if you're running straight forwards and you try to stop on a dime on wet turf,
yeah,
you're probably not going to stay standing.
shows bunts, taking off for second base. Ainsley Curran throws down, does not get the runner to be in safe. Yeah, and a couple stolen bases we've seen already. This morning dew is not affecting the base runners and their ability to get down the path.
It seemed like maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Didn't seem like Ainsley even noticed somebody was stealing, so maybe nobody called it out. Not too sure, but it was a good throw. It was right on the money. Just got right under the tag as well.
So now got a runner at second base in the form of Nate Johnson. And we got Cooper Henderson at the plate. Mentioned Cooper Henderson is the 8th ranked second baseman in South Carolina in 2025, number 103 overall in the class out of Seneca High School.
Just kind of interesting to see a rising senior. Or a
Yeah,
senior.
2025.
Yeah.
This is only his 3rd prep baseball event. So, interesting, a guy who is obviously going into 2025 uncommitted. But you got exit velos around 78.8 for him, 6'6", 4 bat speed, 5'10", 150-pounder.
And I'm sure when he registered for this tournament, he wasn't exactly anticipating taking the field with a team of 2027 and 2028s, but
yeah,
we're going to have a game here, I think.
No one's going to the backstop. Kieran grabs the ball, but we're going to see Nate Johnson take off for third, and suddenly Maulers Select find themselves 90 feet from tying this thing up here in the bottom of the first inning and have yet to have an out against them. Comes a 3-2 from Arnett. Gathers at second, throws the first in time. Oh, no, the ball's going to get away from him.
He got it.
He did get him. Okay, all right, so we're going to be one down, but they traded a run for an out. We're all tied up.
It seemed like he turned his head back thinking the ball went past him.
Yeah, that was he sold it, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't play around with that sometimes. Sometimes you can sell the umpire and then they're not going to reverse the call, so you got to be careful with that.
That's right. Now we are going to see Cullen McGee. McGee, another Seneca High School product, a 2026 5'10", 162-pounder. This is his first prep baseball event, so Cullen and a number of the other Mauler Select players, welcome to LakePoint Sports. Comes the 0-1 from Arnett. Loses that one, glove side. So we've seen Arnett pitch here before, but primarily a catcher and first baseman. It's the 1-1. Gonna go buy Logan a smaller hat.
Yeah, maybe he borrowed somebody's hat as well.
That's true, yeah. So we see a different jersey, obviously, than he was wearing yesterday during their games, and maybe the hat's a little bit borrowed as well. Comes a 2-1. And down the middle for strike 2. McGee going to be followed by Gage Flowers and then Dalton Dial if things go that far. .2200 spin on that last offering from Arnett. It's pretty good for a guy who's not a primary pitcher.
No, well, in the fastball, he's already gotten it up into the 85 range, so he's looking pretty good today.
Speaking of, you see our scoreboard just a little bit ahead of the action. That one's 84-4 off of his arm, but it sails high, and so we're going to have another base runner as he goes down to base on balls, and that's going to give way to Gage Flowers. Again, just one down here in the inning.
This is a big spot right here for Gage Flowers. You're looking to kind of make something happen here. You're the 4-hole hitter. It's kind of your job when you step into the box. If you got runners on, you got to make something happen.
So Gage Flowers, I mentioned the number of Dingers players all playing up. Gage Flowers is a 2028, so we are seeing a guy play up on this Mauler squad that, again, has 2025s, primarily 2026s. Flowers, a homeschool player out of North Carolina, another playing in his first prep baseball event. So So this is 2028 versus 2028, Arnett out of Harrison High School here in Georgia. See what he's got for the 1-0. Runner taking off. Kieran's throw on the money, but gets away from Alonzo and skips over to Gandy.
Kind of surprised not to see a slide right there.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing eagerness out of Mauler Select when they get on the bases. Trying to test Ansley Kieran behind the plate.
We're seeing a lot of stolen bases on both sides, or at least
Yep.
attempts, and I'm wondering if maybe that sun out in center field is a factor.
It could be.
Catcher's got a bit of a skewed view. Obviously, Ansley's got that visor on. You can see on the top of her helmet, but it's still a tough sight when you're trying to look down to second base and make that throw when you're getting blinded by the sun.
Well, the only really good contact we've seen was off the bat of Alonzo. Everything else has been kind of, lightly hit stuff into the infield. So it makes you wonder if guys just start having trouble seeing well enough to square something up this early in the morning.
Yeah, and in that case, when you get base runners, you want to move them around as quick as possible.
The 3-1. Another miss, another base on balls. Still just one down. Going to have runners at first and second. Now we will see Dalton Dial. Dial, Seneca Classical High School. So the other guy's Seneca High School. He goes to the classical version of it. So
I don't know the difference. I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't.
well, again, Dalton playing in his first prep baseball event, 6 foot 190 pounder, 2026. So righty pitcher and third baseman. It's on the hot corner for Maulers today. He's got 2 on and 1 out. Holds off on that as Arnett's picking up his cap again.
This is a common trend. The hat falling off the head.
Yeah,
on pitches.
I feel like it's a generational players thing. I feel like it's something
Maybe.
we've seen over these past few years that these guys are all wearing their hats in different ways. That one's gonna go foul.
There's one that I vividly remember from the spring, which was with East Cobb Astros. Kelby Barnett had a day out here where I think his hat fell off on 75% of the pitches he threw. And I think he threw 6 innings.
Just saw a bug go across
Yeah.
our screen. They live here too.
Great work.
Got him. Nice job by Ansley Kieran running down the base runner to get him at third, and is now going to have 2 down. Interestingly, the runner did not read that from first base and take off for second.
Yeah, I think he was almost I don't think the first base runner was aware of how that was going to go.
Nice job by Ansley Kieran behind the plate, tracking that runner down and getting the second out as he attempted to take third. So now going to be 2 down for Dial. Still got a runner at first base. Former Gage Flowers shoots that one into right field, and that's going to drop down for base hit. Gets away from the right fielder. Flowers taking off, going past third on his way home. The throw is going to be in time. Kieran, unable to lean back and make the play, so we're going to have a 2-1 lead for Maulers. Just a little bit of a short throw, and Kieran was unable to reach back and make the out.
Great work right there, though, at the plate, just waiting on something to get to you. Didn't necessarily hit it too hard, hit it opposite field, just kind of put it right over the first baseman, too far away from the right fielder, and then it bounces into foul territory. It's a little tough to get over there by the fence and pick it up.
Yeah, it looks like it bounced off of Mason Kiernley's glove, too, as he made a play for the ball. This is Davis Reeves. Reeves from D.W. Daniel High School in South Carolina. 5'8", 152-pounder. The 1-0 from Arnett misses arm side. We got a 2-1 lead for Maulers here in the bottom of the first inning. Seen a lot of traffic on the base pass already for both teams. Holds on the 2-0, makes it 2-1. seen Arnett, as you mentioned, up to 85 already here in the bottom of the first. Goes down on that, drops it down for another base hit. Runner's taking off. No, he's going to hold. He is going to take off in time. Throw to second. It's going to be in there. The ball gets away from Gianni Gandy into center field, and another run has scored for Maulers. They're up 3-1. Nice job of hitting there from Davis Reeves.
Yeah, this is great work so far by Maulers, capitalizing on base running, especially. Their guys are running on the base paths, and it's working out for them a lot. They're capitalizing on some of these just small, minor miscues that dingers have had sometimes, like that, a little bit of an overthrow or maybe not exactly the same place you want to be throwing to. It's working out right now in Mauler's favor.
Well, next up is the incredibly named Bain Bush out of D.W. Daniel High School. We're going to have a meeting at the mound here for Logan Arnett. 3 runs on 3 hits so far for Mauler Select. Couple base on balls from Arnett already, and then we've seen, again, 3 hits. We've seen a lot of activity from Maulers on the base pass. They've been really aggressive. Saw that play out in them getting a couple runs, but then also an out at third base as Ansley Kieran ran down the runner, trying to get a little bit too aggressive maybe in that moment, but it does pay off as they're up 3-1 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by how well the offense has looked for Maulers so far. We knew that we had a pretty good starting pitching matchup on the mounds, but both teams starting off the game scoring runs is huge. But for Maulers, I think they're really happy with how they're looking right now.
Swing and a miss by Bush.
And if you look at their first 2 games from the tournament, they only put up 2 runs in each of those first 2 games. Unfortunately, fell in both of them. This time, already outscoring themselves in the first 2, and it's looking good right now.
Arnett may have settled down. It's now 0-2. Searching for his first strikeout. He's got a 0-2 count against Bain Bush. He's going to miss glove side. .35 pitches already here in the bottom of the first inning for Logan Arnett. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball gets them out of the inning, but Maulers has a 3-1 lead as we move along to the second inning on our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Just burgers? It's just boring. Get your sausage on and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
One more look at our lineups as we move along to the second inning in this game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. Dinger Scout again. They were led off by Gianni Gandy, the second baseman, then Asher Stevens, the center fielder. Chase Alonso playing shortstop today. Mason Kennerly playing right field. Logan Arnett, you've seen him on the mound. Dom Mangini is the extra hitter. Ainsley Caron's been behind the plate. Cole Roberts is playing left field. Wesley Theory is the first baseman, and Dylan Verdi hitting 10th and playing third. For Mauler Select, Nate Johnson is their leadoff guy, the center fielder. Cooper Henderson hitting second and playing short. Cullen McGee, the second baseman, hitting third. Hitting fourth is right fielder Gage Flowers. Hitting fifth is Dalton Dial, the third baseman. Davis Reeves behind the plate. Bain Bush, we just saw him strike out to end the last half an inning. He's playing left field. Connor Mitchell is the first baseman, and Donfu Izuka is the DH for Bryson Ivy, who is going through his warm-up pitches. Again, we got a 3-1 lead already for Mauler Select. 3 runs on 3 hits. Dinger Select 1 run on 1 hit. Logan Arnett has been on the mound, and now we'll see him at the plate as we move along for the top of the second inning.
You're excited to see what dingers can do. Logan Arnett stepping up to the plate, leading off the inning, trying to just help himself out on the mound. Maybe get something started here and let the rest of the team do some work.
Logan Arnett will be followed by Dom Mangini and then Ansley Karen. Arnett, as I mentioned, out of Harrison High School. 2028, 2023 junior feature gamer representing Georgia. Did an interview with Logan last spring. It's his work behind the plate that I think is really, especially his size, 6'2", 170-pounder, makes him a really interesting prospect, especially as he puts on some weight, and we've already got a pop time right around 2 seconds. Figure at his age, that's only going to get more impressive as he rips that one down the left side. Exit velo is around 91.4 that we've got him for.
Yeah, Arnett is definitely a player that we've seen a number of times up here, like we've mentioned, and seems like a player that we're going to keep seeing. It definitely seems that way. Like you already mentioned, he was a junior future gamer in 2023. Did you get hit by that one?
No, I think he just slipped out of the way of it. He didn't want that.
I'm sure his dugout is yelling at him to stay in the box.
We'll see what he does to make up for it. He's got a 3-1 count. Oh, skies that one back, and I think that might be trouble. Oh,
Great
it makes
catch.
a collision. Great job behind the plate by Davis Reeves as he goes down on the pop out. What a tough read as you've got the net and the little fence down there at the bottom coming in on you, and Davis Reeves able to haul that in and make a fantastic catch for the first out.
Yeah, that's huge. He knew that he was going to have to run into that fence to catch the ball. He put his body on the line and made a catch and got this inning started off very well for his side.
Well, if we're starting a football team with players here on this game of the day from Labor Day Challenge, I'm starting with Dom Mangini, because look at this guy from Cape Henlopen High School in Delaware. That's right, Delaware, 6'4", 230-pounder.
I would like to think that he just moved to Georgia. But if you're coming from Delaware to play in this tournament, we appreciate it. That's not how we should treat our guests. Shouldn't
That's
throw
right.
out their head, but a good way to get out of the
Gets
way.
away from Bryson Ivy, but he's able to, as you mentioned, get out of the way. Primarily a pitcher, we got him into the 80s. But he's also got exit velos around 85 range at the plate. He's facing a 1-2 count to Ivy. Yeah, we might have to get to the bottom of Dom Mangini coming from Delaware to play for this team. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the breaking ball. Goes down on strikes. Bryson Ivy cooking up a short inning here and backing up. Maulers taking a 3-1 lead at the bottom of the first.
Yeah, looking to hold on to that lead that his offense got him.
He will turn things over to Ansley Karen. Ansley appeared at March's Rising Stars preseason All-State, which was an invite-only event. She's playing in her 10th prep baseball event. Talked to Ansley before. Obviously, everyone is going to open their eyes a little bit when you look at this age and a female still playing against male players. I think that once you get to certain times in a player's career, you thought from a girl female standpoint, you start to wonder at what point are they going to maybe move into that softball range. And I think the fact that she's still out here playing says a lot about the willpower and the ability for her to still hang at this age.
Yeah, and I've never heard any complaints. Nobody ever has anything bad to say, which is how it should be. It should not be stigmatized that only the guys can play. She comes out here and she holds her own. She does a great job, and I think everybody out here gives her due respect.
Yeah, and obviously, catching at this level too is not an easy thing to do, and she's back there behind the plate for dingers this morning. She also pitches as well.
I'll tell you what, I would not want to be catching Logan Arnett's 85-mile-per-hour pitches this morning.
I hear you. Now 2 down as she skies out. We continue this AB. Skies that one foul. A little bit of an adjustment here. And she's got pop times around 2.45. Exit velos north of 75, close to 80 miles an hour. So she can absolutely hang. I know there's been a bigger push, for girls playing the game of baseball, and there's a local player that I was coaching along with for a while. This now at Blessed Trinity, she's moved over to softball. But yeah, there's a lot more of it, I think, than you realize, and Ansley certainly getting it done here on our fields on a consistent basis. Swing and a miss. She goes down on strikes, and just like that, Maulers gets through the Dingers lineup, and they continue to lead 3-1. We will be right back from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, I'm the
Welcome back to our game of the day in the Labor Day Challenge. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. 3-1 is the lead for Maulers over Dingers. Pitching change for Dingers, and I mentioned Dom Mangini from Delaware, and he's going to be the new pitcher for Dingers. We got him again around 80 miles an hour with the fastball at 6'4", 230 pounds. He's going to be facing off against Connor Mitchell and then DH Donfu Izuka, and then we are back to the top of the order for Dingers with Mauler Select, with Nate Johnson. An imposing figure by any measure with Mangini. Pretty easy gas for him at 79.4. Dom's a 2027. That is a pretty big high school freshman. You think about 6'4", 230 pounds.
Yeah, I have not yet reached 6'4", and I don't think I ever will. But as a freshman in high school, I was definitely not anywhere near 6'4".
I'm just honestly surprised he's not somebody's defensive lineman.
Yeah, football season is well underway.
Maybe the football season's later in Delaware, and that's
Could
why.
be.
Yeah, so again, we got to get to the bottom of this. But
It
there's
could be.
Connor Mitchell. $81.8. First offering from Mangini. Connor from DW Daniel High School, 6'4", 175-pounder. This is his third prep baseball event. First baseman and right-handed pitcher. Was back to the fastball again, 82.4, swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was great placement as well. Up and in on the hands, just forced him to put the bat on it and made him miss.
See if we see something of the breaking ball variety out of Mangini here. He does. A little weak grounder to Alonso, and the throw is in time for the first out. Nice curveball. Way to lay back on that from Mitchell and at least put it in play. So a giveaway to Donfu Izuka.
It seems like this, so far, the Dinger Scout pitching rotation, not missing out on any velocity.
That one 82.7. Donfu from DW Daniel High School in South Carolina, his second prep baseball event. The 0-1. I like the Max Scherzer pull over the head.
Yeah.
Which I've talked to a number of scouts about that. You know, obviously it's a rhythm thing for a guy, but it can always be interesting when that's what you do from the windup. How does that? What does it look like from the stretch? And when you got a guy who has a lot of moving parts from the windup, how does it impact them when they have to go to the stretch?
Yeah, I think it's all just rhythm based. If you can figure out your rhythm both from the windup and from the stretch, you can almost mirror it. Just, you know, obviously there is fundamental changes you have to make to it, But once you can understand that, in definitely once you're approaching this age, once you're getting into that, like for him, he's a rising freshman. Once you get to like the 15 age group and then kind of keep going up, and that was a fantastic pitch.
That was pretty
strikeout.
gross for the strikeouts. Nice job by Don Mangini to get the K.
But as you keep growing as a pitcher, you start to realize how your rhythm works and how you like to go about your style on the mound, and you'll almost never favor the windup over the stretch. You'll just feel natural either way.
We are back to the top of the order here now, and Nate Johnson. 2 down. It's in for a strike. Mangini's found his rhythm by far. 83.9. I believe that's the highest that we've seen out of him velo-wise so far.
Trying to catch Logan Arnett's 85.2.
That's right. Man, I really like that secondary stuff from him.
It looks great, especially when you're getting up towards that, 83, 84 with the fastball. To bring it down to 71 on that off speed is wonderful.
And he's got nice control. Quick pitch.
Almost got him to swing.
Yep.
You brought up the Max Scherzer inspired pulling the glove over the head. It wouldn't surprise me. Delaware not too far from the D.C. area, probably.
That's true.
As a young man watching Max Scherzer.
Ooh, 83.4 gets him for the K. Nice job by Don Mangini coming down and getting a couple strikeouts. Think about it. He probably didn't think he was going to pitch at least this early in this game. Comes in the second inning, gets a couple strikeouts. Mauler Select, though, lead 3-1. And we'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Action continues in our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. 3-1 continues to be the lead for Maulers over Dingers. Bryson Ivy back out on the mound for Mauler Select. He's allowed just 1 hit so far. 3 hits for 3 runs for Mauler Select. We're going to see Cole Roberts going to be followed by Wesley Theory and Dylan Verdi.
You had Mangini for Dingers come out, throw a beautiful inning. Right before that, Ivy threw one as well. Hopefully, Ivy can do that again and hold this lead for the Mauler Select.
Yeah, it may have been one of the best pitched innings I can remember in quite some time on these broadcasts. And we've obviously done our run. We had the different level, obviously, for what we saw during the future games. But during our national championships, some of those championship games, as they wore along, pitching became an issue for teams. But man, you think about this level and the fact you got a team playing up in the form of the Dingers. That was just a really well-pitched couple half innings, and we'll see what continues here as we move along to the top of the third. And again, Cole Roberts at the plate from Walnut Grove, 2028, 5'11", 139-pounder, third baseman and right-handed pitcher.
One of the things I really like about these 3-day tournaments is that, for the most part, your pitching staff doesn't get tired. You're not 10 games into this when you go into the championship game, and everybody wants to go home. Like, these guys are out here to play the game for 3 days straight and just come out here and do it, and that is exactly what happened.
The one thing I will say is that you are probably not going to see a pitcher a second time.
No.
You know, that's the only difference between those week-long tournaments, is guys might get a couple shots to go out there on the mound, as that one's in for a strike at 72.1. But in this environment, obviously, you gotta save your bullets for when they matter most. We saw Dingers have to pull one out for here with Mangini as leadoff walk for Cole Roberts. Things kind of went a little bit awry for Logan Arnett. So Roberts, again, in his 18th prep baseball event, makes his way to first base with a leadoff walk. That gives us Wesley Theory. And talk about guys in the future games. Wesley just coming off of an appearance for Georgia in the future games at the end of July out of Norcross. Swing, send that one back foul. 2028, 6'1", 175-pounder. He's really made a name for himself on the mound, and that's where I was talking to Prep Baseball Georgia scouting director Hudson Graham about Wesley, and the fastball into the mid-80s. He's got a curveball with around 2,000 spin, a slider that's around 2,200 spin. For a 2028 is some eye-opening stuff. You think about where that might end up in a couple years. But at the plate, exit velo is almost to 90. Bat speed is 77.9, which is pretty staggering.
That is.
You think about it, 2028.
Extremely good.
Well, he's got a chance to do some damage here. A runner at first base. His team down 3-1 in the top of the third. I think we're expecting to get into the 90s again here as Labor Day weekend continues. Nice and timid weather-wise here at the moment.
Yeah, you can tell that it is so humid early this morning, but had some rain seemingly everywhere but North Georgia.
Yeah, there is some potential for thunderstorms as the day goes on here, but hopefully we will avoid any delays here in this game or any of the other ones that we have to try to get us through this 3-day tournament. One count for Ivy, who is throwing his 39th pitch. Throw back to first. Going to pull him off the bag, and Roberts is going to maintain his spot. Wesley Theory will be followed by Dylan Verdi. The 2-1 from Ivy. Rips that one down the left side. Apparently that was gloved and thrown back to first. So there's going to be one out.
Wow.
Faster than AI, 87.5 off the bat.
Yeah.
So Wesley Theory rips one down the left side. Apparently a third baseman made the catch there. Could have been all kinds of trouble, but he's going to give way to Dylan Verdi.
Oh, and they got the double play on that.
They did get the double play. So that's the, unfortunately, these AI cameras are great, but sometimes they do not switch when we need them to, and that was an unfortunate case of that, as they were able to double up Cole Roberts at first base. Imagining a fantastic job there defensively when you think about what Mauler Select is doing. Dalton Dial is the third baseman, so he gloves that, throws it over to Connor Mitchell to get the double play.
Yeah, and you got to show some composure. That was 87.5 off the bat, coming straight at you. Not too far away either. So making that play, keeping the composure, and then throwing it straight over to first base, tagging up or getting Cole Roberts as you try to go back.
Oh, Verdi drops that down right over the top of the head of second baseman Cullen McGee as he made a dive for that. It's one of those plays where maybe as a second baseman you lay off as you're that deep into the outfield, but sometimes instincts take over, and we're going to see Dylan Verdi at first base, and now here's Johnny Gandy. Went down on strikes in his first AB. Johnny Gandy is just a bottled up personality. I mean, you think about kids that you're around and you just think, man, that kid's got some charisma to him. It's certainly Johnny Gandy. He's just a bubble, as best as I can put it, man. He's got a lot going on. I did one of those gear up videos with him, and it was like a sporting goods store that he brought along with him. But loves to play the game. He's here a ton. He was a junior feature gamer as well along the way. Johnny was here in 2023 representing Georgia. Homeschool player from Georgia. Puts that one into play, drops that into left field for a base hit, 83 off the bat. Gets away from the left fielder, taken off for second base. So Johnny Gandy's got himself a double and going to have a runner at third.
It's another great piece of hitting, 83 off the bat this time, and elevates it just a little bit, puts it in the outfield. You have an unfortunate mishap there on the fielding it, but helps out Dingers quite a lot here, trying to just get a second run at this third inning where they're already down 2 outs, but they've got a chance here.
So Dylan Verdi is at third. Johnny Gandy at second. Now here's Asher Stevens. Chance to cut into this lead of 3-1 for Maulers over Dingers here in the top of the third inning. Stevens sends that back foul. Gandy was credited, by the way, by the scorekeepers with a double for that.
I couldn't necessarily tell if it hit the glove or not. It could have just taken a sideways bounce, which does happen.
It looked like it bounced in front of him, then hit the glove and bounced off.
Could have been.
Nonetheless, Gandy's got himself a double and has dingers here in business with 2 down, 1-1 count to Stevens. Makes it 2-1. Alonso in the on-deck circle should this inning continue. Stevens from Gainesville High School, 2028. It's now 3-1.
Seems like this inning, Ivy's just kind of lacking a little bit of the control that we saw in that second inning.
Yeah, laboring a little bit more than we saw him previously in this one. We're now all tied up on the hits department, 3 per squad. Here comes a 3-1. It's going to walk him, so now we're going to have the bases loaded with Chase Alonso, the 2-time junior feature gamer.
And it seems like in this inning in particular, Dingers has really changed their approach at the plate. Probably notice, you go through one inning, down 2 runs, you don't make anything happen. Come out the next time, you got to change your attitude a little bit. And it seems like they're just playing a lot more patient, especially after that double play. They know that they have to let the game come to them, and they're doing a great job of it.
Well, Alonso responsible for the lone run on the scoreboard currently for Dingers, and he's got a chance to do even more damage. Scores 3-1 here on the top of the third. Bases are loaded. Dylan Verdi at third base, Johnny Gandy at second, Asher Stevens at first. Big moment for Chase Alonso. Alonso from Rayburn County, 6'1", 185-pound, 2028. Prep Baseball Profile has got him with exit velos around 93.6, bat speed north of 70. Represented Georgia in the last 2 junior feature games. Makes him a pretty strong bet, I would imagine, in the next 2 years to be suiting up in the actual feature games.
You're very excited to see, because we've gotten to cover a lot of these 14U tournaments last spring, now coming into this fall. And obviously this isn't a 14U tournament, but got some of the guys that are the 2028s, and very excited to see how those rankings look in the spring.
Miss makes it 2-0. That's something too. I like to talk with with Ian Smith and Hudson Graham and any of the guys from Prep Baseball about the way you watch a player grow and the way you watch them populate those first rankings. Then you see them get those junior feature games opportunities, and then the feature games, and seeing it's almost like a stock, right? And it's like, were they right on this kid?
Exactly.
Did they see it?
The prime example that I think we all use often is Reed Worley.
Yeah.
And now in the update from just 2 days ago, is number 2 in Georgia.
Yep. Yeah, Reed has made a considerable jump. I'm going to see him down in Miami for the Prep Baseball All-American game. Actually had him up here a couple weeks ago for a sit-down interview talking about the progress he's made. Chase Alonso draws a bases-loaded walk. Everyone's going to advance 90 feet. Now it's 3-2. Nice job there by not being overly aggressive. Alonso, I'm sure, just by his nature, a run producer, kind of backing off and making Ivy pitch to him. Pounds his glove in frustration. That's going to be it for him.
Yeah, Ivy looked great. You can't take that away from him. All the way up until the couple of walks he gave up after that double play, he looked fantastic. So he had a great outing. Interested to see who they bring in now.
The bases will continue to be loaded as Mason Kennerly is going to face a new pitcher.
So we're still waiting for somebody to come back from the bullpen, maybe.
Or somebody's changing their shoes.
It could be. Could be.
One or the other. Hopefully not trying to pull off the situation that we saw during the summertime when a team tried to bring a pitcher back in because he pitched left-handed at one point, and he, I guess, was going to pitch right-handed the second time and thought that that made him a different player.
Yeah, you'll have to ask the very few ambidextrous, but you can ask Gerangelo Saincha about it.
I don't
see if he's ever tried that one.
Yeah. He should have just said he had a twin brother.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been an all-timer.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the reactions to that.
All right, Trenton Freeman is going to be pitching now for Mauler Select. Freeman from West Oak High School in South Carolina, also playing in his first prep baseball event. Third baseman and righty pitcher. And he's going to have Mason Kennerly and then Logan Arnett and then Dom Mangini. See how deep things go. Already 2 out.
So you've already scored one of the runs with bases loaded. You keep bases loaded. You bring up the, what are they at?
The
4, 5, 6.
Yep.
This is a big spot for dingers and maybe keep this 2-out rally going.
Nice, interesting kind of 3/4 release here from Freeman.
Yeah, it's going to generate some arm side movement on that fastball.
Well, this is the opportunity. Has found itself at the door and is knocking for Dinger Select. Again, the bases loaded. They've already walked in 1 run to make it 3-2. Final warm-up pitches for Freeman. Everybody makes their way back to their respective bases. Asher Stevens taking his time getting to second base.
Looks like he's just trying to let that hair breathe.
That's right.
Looks like everybody's back in order.
All right, and 2 down for Mason Kennerly, the right fielder. Kennerly from Decatur. 6'2", 175-pounder. He's got the bases loaded, 2 outs. See the first offering from Freeman. .76.5 is the readout as he gets that in for strike 1.
Yeah, I think with that throwing motion, like I had mentioned, he's going to get some arm side run on the fastball. You saw it there. It's a little bit of a late kickoff to the arm side, but you get it there.
Kennerly puts this in play. Third baseman gathers, throws. Oh, the throw's wide. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run.
Ball went out of play, it looks like.
The ball's out of play, and everybody advances, so it comes through big time. Nice job from Mason Kennerly.
That's a tough throw to make it at third base there. Your momentum's coming in towards the pitcher's mound, and you're kind of making your move towards second base, trying to throw to first. It throws off your balance a lot, makes it a really difficult throw because you end up closing off your body to the base you're trying to throw to when you kind of shift your momentum the other direction, and unfortunately goes into the dugout.
Yeah, 2 score off the bat of Mason Kennerly. Could have been a lot more as that ball and the throw from third sent wide to the first baseman, and could have been another run as you saw Chase Alonso kind of hold at third. Now you got Logan Arnett. He's got runners at second and third with 2 down. Logan, after a start here, I'm sure he would like back, looking to make up for it at the plate. But 4-3 is now the lead for Dingers. Had the bases loaded through 2 batters. 1 run scored off of a walk, and then Mason Kennerly scores 2 off of a seemingly routine play to third base that went awry. But a tough throw on the run nonetheless, and I'm sure looking to get out of that, maybe rushed it a little bit. We've seen Dalton Dial already. He keyed that double play in the last half an inning. Just misses on the outside, so he's going to draw a walk and load the bases again for Dom Mangini, who's now taking over on the mound.
It's an unfortunate situation that Freeman comes into here. just, bases loaded, 2 outs, and you frame it when you go out there like, oh, I just have to get 1 out and we're done. And then, one thing leads to another, and you've already given up a couple of runs, and now you've walked your first batter.
Well, he's got the bases loaded for Mangini, who has taken over on the mound for Dingers. That ball gets away from the catcher, but everybody's staying put.
Now it's Mangini's turn. Help himself out.
Well, his team's already taking a 4-3 lead here. They came in trailing 3-1, but have scored 3 runs here in the top of the third to take the lead. That's a little bit of the catcher pulling that one back, I think. That was a little low, but he's able to frame that up and get the strike.
It's part of the game. One of the most important things a catcher can do behind the plate is elite framing.
It's the 1-1. Mangini right up the middle is going to score another run. So Don Mangini comes through with a 1 run. And here comes a second. Dingers take a 6-3 lead. Don Mangini gets some love from the first base coach. Follows up his performance on the mound with some work at the plate. All of a sudden, Dingers has a 3-run lead here in the top of the third.
Mangini gets pinch run 4 by Chance Thomas. And I don't know if anybody realized it, but on right at the end of that play, Arnett kind of rounded second and had to dodge and get out of the way of the ball that was coming in from the outfield.
72-6 off the bat of Don Mangini and extends this Dingers lead here in the top of the third. And now we'll see Ainsley Karen. Logan Arnett at second base. I think Ainsley may have called for time there at the last second.
That's what I thought. I couldn't exactly tell. Maybe she just tried it a little too late and didn't get granted the call.
Looked like her right hand did extend back. She's got a 1-0 count. Swings through that to make it 1-2. Five runs so far in this inning for Dingers. First time we've seen him throw that breaking ball, but he misses at 63-8.
It didn't look too bad, just a little bit off the side of the plate.
Yeah, it's got some weird late movement on it for sure, coming out that 3/4 angle. See what he's got for Ainsley on the 2-1. Sends that one back foul. The runner, Arnett, was taken off for third.
Looks like Logan Arnett's just trying to have a little bit of fun now.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun for Dingers in this inning as they, again, entered it trailing 3-1, and they now lead 6-3.
Yeah, crazy to think, they were down 3-1. They get that unfortunate double play on the line drive. And then all of a sudden it blooms into this, and they're 5 runs scored and up 3.
Runs the count full.
There's that off speed again. Once again, leaks out just a little bit off the side of the plate. But
so we saw Chase Alonso draw a bases loaded walk. Mason Kennerly hits a ball to third base off an errant throw, scores 2. Logan Arnett walks, and then Don Mangini comes through with a laser up the middle to score 2. Ainsley Karen goes down on strikes, but not before Dingers has taken a 6-3 lead as we move along to the bottom of the third inning. We'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
6-3 lead for Dingers over Maulers in our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge from here at LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney along with Grayson, Rosen, Dom Mangini back on the mound, coming in a relief effort for Dingers, and then getting at the plate and driving in a couple runs and making a name for himself as a two-way here in our game of the day.
Yeah, Dom Mangini looks fantastic. Hoping to see another good pitching performance out of him on this side. Like we said, he helped himself out on the mound or at the plate. Now takes the mound once again and hoping to repeat that second inning that he had.
He will face the lone ranked player for Mauler Select in the form of second baseman Cooper Henderson. He'll be followed by Cullen McGee and Gage Flowers. Look at the schedule already. Yesterday, Maulers on Saturday lost to Coastal Stars Upper Class Navy 7-2, then lost 9-2 to U.S. Elite Mid-South. Dingers Scout played one game yesterday. They beat Coastal Stars Upper Class Navy 4-0. They will play U.S. Elite Mid-South immediately after this game. We'll be interested to know, talking to their coaches, how their pitching philosophy or pitching ideas have changed after this game, and Logan Arnett not making it as deep as maybe they expected, and having to use Dom Mangini in the second inning.
Yeah, and we've talked numerous times on these broadcasts about the guy who's, he's not starting and doesn't really think he's going to pitch in this game or doesn't think he's going to pitch that early in the game, just kind of getting thrown out there on the mound to, thrown out to the Tigers. But he's stepped in and done a fantastic job in relief.
Yeah, there's a little swagger to Mangini as you see him out there. He's coming to this mound with a lot of confidence. He's got a 1-1 count to Henderson.
And I personally think he has a fantastic hairstyle.
The lettuce is strong with Dom for sure. There's the 1-1. Sends that back foul. Now 1-2 to Henderson. Again, will be followed by Cullen McGee and Gage Flowers. Goes back to that breaking ball, misses to make it 2-2. Oh, gets that. Oh, what
wow.
A catch by Johnny Gandy. Oh, I thought he had made the catch. It was just over the extended arm of Johnny Gandy. So he's going to be safe at first. I thought he made that catch. The way that he leapt at that, just kind of lost the ball for a split second as it went in and dropped in front of the right fielder. And Kennerly makes the throw over to first base, but the speed of Cooper Henderson gets him a leadoff single. Man, I thought Gandy was able to leap up and make that play.
He must have barely missed that for that to drop in front of his right fielder. That
yeah, he's kind of mimicking it over there. He's like, man, nearly had it.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's Cullen McGee's turn. Runner at first. I think Chase Alonso is saying, I would have had that. I'm taller than you.
But can you jump that
That's
high?
right. Yeah, he absolutely got up there. Now we're seeing him from the stretch for the first time. Pitched entirely out of the windup in the first half an inning we saw him. Taking off for second base. Henderson, collides with Gandy.
That time Gandy caught it, though.
He did catch it that time. We mentioned what was it going to look like when he kind of removed the pull from over top the head when he went from the stretch. We did see it a little bit with that quick pitch.
Yep. Let's see if he can just kind of settle in right here. It seems like he's a little shaken up after that kind of unfortunate hit that got past Gandy's glove, and now you have a 2-0 count to your next batter. Just settle in, kind of go back to what you know.
Yeah, the first hit allowed by Mangini in this relief effort. pumps that in there, 83-5.
That was a good pitch.
Sure was. 2-1, glances back at Henderson. Oh, gets that call on the outside. Nice job, 84-4. That's the highest we've seen out of him so far.
Oh, yeah. And a well-placed pitch at that.
Does he go back to the fastball here? Does he work that secondary? Goes secondary. Oh, who's covering first base? Mangini makes the play to get him at first.
Did he drop the
ball?
ball?
He dropped the ball.
Oh, man.
Unfortunate play on the run as he tried to take the scoop from the first baseman who was feeling that.
And that pitch was a fastball and his fastest of the day at 85 miles an hour.
So he goes 85, just some contact. Looked like he was going to make the play himself at first base. Ball gets away from him. A run scores from Maulers to make it 6-4. So again, we talk about what Maulers has done on the base pass. I think that's been their biggest weapon, is their aggressiveness on the base pass. We see that play out there as they were able to get a run across the plate and cut that lead to now 2 here in the bottom of the third. If you're Don Mangini, it feels like it's just some unfortunate turns of events here.
Yeah, you almost had a line drive out to second base with Gianni Gandy showing off the max vertical. And then you get real close to making another play. You had a great stop by your first baseman. You're trying to make the run over there, just a little bit behind him. And it falls out of the glove, doesn't get the play at first. It just kind of seems like it feels like the wheels are falling off, but he's still got something going for him.
Got himself a sword and make it 1-2. Bryson Ivy now batting for himself. Well, he was the starting pitcher. He's obviously moved elsewhere in the lineup for Maulers. Cullen McGee at second base. Miss, makes it 2-2. Six-4 lead for Dingers here in the bottom of the third inning. Bryson Ivy at the plate. His first time hitting today. Heron throws. Chase Alonso able to scoop that up. Full count to Ivy. Mangini delivers. That one's down the pipe for a strikeout. His first of the inning.
84 miles an hour on that one. It seems like, for some reason, whenever he really gets that velo up, he is hitting it on the black on the far side of the plate.
It's interesting that he's had his first activity in the base pass. It's almost like they ticked him off a little bit, and now we're seeing the highest velo of the day from Don Mangini.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to slow it down. You got to get it to your catcher as fast as possible when these guys are trying to run all over the bases.
Well, he goes secondary there, and that one's flipped back foul. This is Dalton Dial. So Brandon Ivy has moved to right field, and he's replaced Gage Flowers in the lineup. Dial from Seneca Classical High School. The 0-1 as Mangini spins off.
I would like to point out him and Logan Arnett both wearing Jordan mid cleats on the mound.
That's right. Bringing the style, Dingers. Mangini has the mismatched pants. Arnett had the mismatched shirt.
Yeah.
If they bring in another pitcher, I can't imagine what. Maybe they'll have a different hat on.
Maybe.
0-2 count to Dial. Let's see what Dial's up here for him. Skies that one. Gandy's underneath it. He's got it for the second out.
Yeah, good work with the off speed right there. I don't think he was exactly anticipating that one. Ends up swinging underneath it and poking it straight up to the second base.
We'll now see catcher Davis Reeves, who, if you were with us early on, Davis Reeves with one of the best defensive plays I can remember in quite some time when we saw him make a catch right at the fence. Apparently running full speed at that one too, and collided with the fence in the net and able to haul that in and make the play. Strike at 81-9.
Just another great pitch placed right on the edge of the strike zone, this time to the left-handed hitter.
I believe this is the first lefty that Mangini has had to face. Skies that one into right field. Kennerly makes the catch for the inning-ending out. But Mauler's able to get one back. 6-4, though, is the lead for Dingers as we move along in our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Our action continues in the game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. Dingers with a 6-4 lead over Maulers, and our action is the top of the fourth inning. Cory McCartney along with Grayson Rosen. Cole Roberts at the plate for Dingers. Be followed by Wesley Theory and Dylan Verdi. Saw Dingers hit entirely through the order in the last half an inning as they fought back to take a 6-3 lead, and then Maulers gets a run back in the bottom of the third. Freeman continuing on the mound for Mauler Select, coming out in this relief effort. Trenton Freeman from West Oak High School. He's again got Cole Roberts.
Looking forward to seeing him kind of get his fair shot now after coming in some tricky circumstances.
Yeah, he came in a tough situation and saw Dingers able to extend that lead. Roberts again will be followed by Wesley Theory and Dylan Verdi. 2-1 is the count. Sends that back foul.
Good work by Roberts there. Just fight that one off. It was in a spot where even if he got the bat to it, probably was not going to get the best contact out of it. So just fight it off and give yourself another try.
You figure after in his 18th prep baseball event, he's pretty much seen every situation you can possibly see on these fields.
He's a seasoned veteran now.
Going to get him a ability to clock in as he sends that back foul. Start logging some hours. He's probably spent more time here than some employees.
Close to. He's probably going to come up on 10 years of service time
Yeah, that's
soon.
right.
We'll get the pension.
That's right. 2-2 count. Well, misses in the secondary, 63-1. It's an interesting run on that pitch for sure, coming from that three-quarter slot. See what it goes to now on a full count. Leadoff walk by Cole Roberts.
No stranger to that.
That's right. We saw this happen last inning, and it just opened the floodgates for dingers.
I'm sure if you're Dylan Verdi or Wesley Theory coming to the plate, you don't want to hit into another double play like you did last time. But if it warrants 5 runs, you might have to take
That's
one for the
right.
team.
So if you missed it the last time, Cole Roberts draws a walk. Then he ends up getting doubled up at first base off a hard hit ball at third. But after that, we saw dingers load the bases, saw Chase Alonso get a leadoff walk. Mason Kennerly has 2 runs score off his bat on a missed throw from third base, and then Dom Mangini, with the bases loaded again, comes through with 2 RBI to make it 6 runs. Wesley Theory, great stop at first base in the last half an inning and nearly had the out, but the ball got away from Mangini. Skies that one, who's got it second base, camps underneath it for the first out. Follow off a leadoff walk with a pop out to second, and here is Dylan Verdi, the third baseman. Verdi from Jefferson High School.
Looked like Theory maybe giving Verdi a little bit of intel on the pitcher. This is their first time facing him for those two.
Dylan Verdi, 2027 for Jefferson. Jefferson, the school that produced Future Games Most Valuable Pitcher Eston Simpson a year ago. The 1-0. Rips that one 77.5 off the bat. That one's going to drop down. He's going to drop down. Runner's taking off for third. He's going to be there in time. So a 1-out double for Dylan Verdi. Nice job there. Sends that one into the left field. 77.5 off the bat.
That was a great piece of hitting right there. It's sure Cole Roberts kind of wishes he was running the whole time. He'd definitely be walking to the dugout right now if he was, but safe of him to hold up a little bit between first and second, and then still full sprinted out to third, and now you got 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out.
Johnny Gandy getting the fist bumps for catcher and home plate umpire. And speaking of doubles, he of course had one in his last at bat. So 1 for 2 on the day. See what he's got in store here with 2 on and 1 out. Dingers looking to extend their lead. They gave up a run in the bottom of the third to get this deficit to 2. It's in for a strike, makes it 1-1.
That's a well-placed pitch. Try to just get something back right here for Freeman.
It's a big AB with 1 out.
Got the infield playing in on the grass. Probably looking to get the out at home.
Nice job by Reeves behind the plate. So now 2-1 to Gandy. Again, he doubled in his last AB. He's got 1 out and 2 on. Sends this one right up the middle. Catcher's got it in time for, oh no, he said he's safe.
I think he thought he dropped it and had to look in his glove to see if the ball was there, then laid down the tag.
Unfortunate turn of events there. The throw into Davis Reeves from Freeman looked like it was in time, but another run is going to score, and they're going to have him at the corners.
Great work by Cole Roberts to just go all out, sliding headfirst into home plate and get there. You don't see that happen too often. A lot more times than not, you see the catcher just go ahead and tag, and the ball is at the backstop. So that was just a little bit of a mishap.
So nearly got Roberts at home, but another run is what happens for Dingers there as they lead 7-4 here in the top of the fourth. Johnny Gandy makes his way to first base. Dylan Verdi at third.
And I think, you kind of had a little bit of hesitation out of Freeman as well. I don't know if he exactly anticipated himself getting the ball in that scenario. Probably more thinking that, infield in, one of my infielders will get it and they know where to go. He's got plenty of things to deal with for himself on the mound, but the ball ends up in his glove and had to make the decision to go home.
So here's Asher Stevens, Chase Alonso in the on-deck circle. Stevens is hitless on the day. Runners at second. Let's see if Gandy gets aggressive. He holds it first. That's in for ball one.
I'd be surprised if we get 3 pitches into this at bat and he's not standing on second base.
Yeah, I was surprised he just didn't take off after the first pitch. Glance back from Freeman to Gandy. Looks over at third. Steven ropes that one up the middle. That's going to be down for a base hit. Gandy's going to hold a second. Another run is going to score. Nice piece of hitting there for Asher Stevens. 65-5 off the bat. Just drops that down into no man's land.
That's another one of those things when we talk about your approach at the plate. Comes up in those first 2 at-bats. Doesn't really end up exactly how he was looking for it. And then this time, shorten up the swing. Don't worry about the exit velo. Just get on base by any means necessary.
That is going to do it for Trenton Freeman on the mound. We'll have a pitching change from Maulers. It'll be their third pitcher of the day. Let's see who they go to now.
It looks like.
This is Chase Job.
And Freeman just, from the jump, he comes in a difficult circumstance and just kind of gets shaken up. It's really hard to come back from that. Even going into your next inning of work, it's a tough thing to come back from when you know you've already given up a couple of runs.
So Chase comes in relief, 5'10", 180-pound, 2026 from J.L. Mann High School in South Carolina.
A little bit of an interesting delivery as well. Left-handed pitcher kind of condenses himself when he brings that leg up. And then
yeah, a lot of deception. That ball seems to almost disappear.
A lot of leg movement, too, so maybe that's going to ward some base stealing.
Looks like the ball goes almost all the way down to his foot. I'll be interested to see what that looks like from the outfield camera coming in.
It looks like if he threw it a little too early, he could hit himself in the foot. He gets his foot really high up when he's putting it out straight like that. It's very interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That is a long delivery and makes you wonder when you've got an open base whether we're going to see that come into play.
Yeah. Got the Dingers base runners just chopping it up with the Mauler Select infield.
Yep, Gandy holding court over there. I mentioned the personality that he brings to the game. He's obviously having a lot of fun with those Maulers players over there right now, him and Asher Stevens. I mean, I hate to equate it to it because they're both smaller guys, but talking to Gandy really reminds me of conversations I've had with Ozzie Albies, where it's kind of that same, gregariousness and same energy. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. See the last relief, or the last warm-up pitches, from Chase Job.
If Gianni Gandy really wants to be like Ozzie Albies, when he's running to third, his helmet will fall off.
Well, maybe just throws it off.
Yeah.
We've already seen enough lids off today anyway.
That's true. Logan Arnett primed us for anybody's headwear falling off their head.
Chase Alonso with an RBI single in his first AB draws a leadoff, bases loaded walk in his second AB. Let's see what he's got here for his third trip to the plate as he watches that in for strike one.
I think that's just part of that deceptive pitch that we were talking about. It just almost seemingly comes out of nowhere when he releases that ball. That one an off speed that just kind of falls into the strike zone.
Yeah, really gets it down there. I think it's going to be a lot more noticeable when he's from the windup. I think you can see the ball the entire time from the stretch.
Mm-hmm. It does seem like he tucks it behind his hip when he goes through his motion. He kind of drops his arm and then brings it back over the top, which does make it a little bit deceptive, but I do agree. You can kind of see the ball throughout the process when he's pitching from the stretch. And saw Gandy try and get to third base, but got to go back to second on the foul ball.
Count is 1-2 to Alonso. And he will be followed by Mason Kennerly, Logan Arnett. 1-2 is the count to the two-time junior feature gamer. Gandy trying to get him thinking back there as he flinches towards third.
Getting real twitchy over there at
He
second
sure
base.
is.
He's ready to run.
He's got his sliding mitt on. He didn't put that thing on for no reason.
No.
Got 2 batting gloves in the back pockets. Taking off for third. Both runners are going. Reeves throws the third, but not in time as Gandy takes the bag, and see Asher Stevens move on to second.
Yeah, throw comes in just a little bit high, and Gandy didn't even get like a perfect jump there, but slides in safe.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to go back to it, but I think the sort of laboriousness, or how you want to call the delivery of Job, I think just lends itself to runners being able to go, because it is such an elongated delivery.
A lot of moving parts.
Yep. Misses there to make it 1-0. Kennerly is 1 for 2. Job delivers. Kennerly sends that one back foul. It's a nice arm though. I do like the action. I do like the deceptiveness. That was something I always enjoyed out of a guy here in Atlanta. Alex Wood was a lot of deceptiveness out of him from the left side. When you can see that velo pop up, and you add in a kind of slower delivery with the velo, that's what takes away anything any guy's going to do on the base pass. But when you're sitting around, the high 60s to the low 70s, and you've got a delivery that's a little slow,
just makes it really easy to run on you.
That's going to make teams, especially as you get a little bit higher up and you face faster players, you're going to see that come into play as Kennerly skies that one into right field on the run. Who's got it? Second baseman does, and he's going to get the inning to end, but Dingers lead 8-4. We'll be right back with our Labor Day Challenge action.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Action continues here in our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. 8-4 is now the lead for Dingers over Maulers. Cory McCartney along with Grayson, Rosen, Don Mangini back on the mound, coming out in relief. And he had a long layoff that last half an inning as we saw a pitching change for Maulers and a couple more runs scored as they extend the lead from 6-4 to 8-4. He's going to be facing Bane Bush, Connor Mitchell, and Don Fuel Izuka.
It looks like Logan Arnett coming in at first base now.
So Arnett has moved to his natural position of first base, catcher and first baseman. Bush is 0 for 1. We saw 85 out of Mangini last inning. Did he go? He did not. Makes it 1-0. Mangini showed us, "You will not like me when I'm angry." his last inning pitch, as he had some traffic and seemingly was ratcheting everything up as he hit 84, then 85.
Let's make it 86. See what happens.
If he's got 86 in his bag in his third inning of work, be impressive. But he didn't probably get to go through his normal pregame routine. So, you know, who's to say maybe he might have 86 in his back pocket.
He's just getting warmed up.
2-1 is the count to Bush. Skies that foul. It's like Johnny Gandy has shifted over to shortstop. Not sure where Chase Alonso finds himself at the moment. He does pitch as well, so maybe he's getting himself ready for some latter innings. One goes to third on the run. Nice throw. In time for the out.
Great throw by
Dylan Verdi, yeah.
And a good pitch up on the hands, forcing poor contact. It only came off the bat 38.5 miles an hour.
So it's like Colin Thomas has moved into second base to take Johnny Gandy's spot, and Gandy has shifted to shortstop. So that could be the end of the day for Chase Alonso.
Or, like you said, getting ready to pitch.
Yep.
He'll be up in the bullpen right now.
He could. At least defensively with this alignment, it's going to be the end of his day. It's Connor Mitchell, who's 0 for 1. Ooh, that one plunks him in the helmet. Did not get an exit velo on that. We got some exit velos during the summer on some hit by pitches, but did not get on that. But Mitchell wearing it where you want to wear it, I would assume. It's going to hurt a lot less than anywhere else.
Yeah, and I guess fortunately for him, he kind of turned down the velo on that one. That was supposed to be a curveball for only 68.5 miles an hour. Maybe not as fun of a conversation if he was throwing that 85.
So Chase Job, who came in relief for Maulers, a second pitcher of the top of the 4th inning, gets his first trip to the plate. Holds. Runner staying put at first. We have seen a uber aggressiveness out of Maulers in the base pass, and see Ainsley Karanen taking her secondary position, anticipating that they're going to be taken off for second base. Ainsley in secondary once again. That's in for a strike.
Does kind of seem like Mangini's pulling back a little bit on the velo right now.
We'll see what he's got on the 2-1. That's going to make it 3-1. It's not a bad miss. Well, that one gets away from everybody as runners both going to move on as off the walk.
Yeah, it seems like Mangini's just kind of losing a little bit of control right now. You can see that Ainsley Karen's setting up on the outside of the plate for the lefty and just kind of kept late releasing a little bit.
So we saw Job actually hit in the spot of Danfu Azuka, the DH. Now we're back to the top of the order with Nate Johnson.
Time called by somebody for something.
Could have a ball in the field from another game. One of the things we always have to take into account here at LakePoint Sports, and you have so many games going on at once, we do see balls pop onto the field from other games. The play will continue. Again, Nate Johnson at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Johnson calls for time. Mangini gets the breaking ball in for a strike.
And this is where you kind of come back and show off the heat. Probably going to see something in the 80s here.
Yeah, again, last time we saw him with a runner on, he was dialing it up. He misses. That one gets away from Ainsley Karen, and everyone's going to advance 90 feet.
Interestingly enough, we got an exit velo on that.
Yeah.
off the glove of Ainsley Karen.
68-2.
We're going to get a mound visit for Mangini.
First time they've gone out to have a conversation with him since taking over in the second inning. He's got 3 strikeouts, allowed 2 hits. He's got 1 walk and a hit by pitch.
No, stay out there for the time being.
Yeah, the best bet is that Chase Alonso is off warming himself up to potentially come in relief, but we'll see. Should they have to go out and pull Mangini, or maybe he just locks it down and gets out of this like he has in the last couple innings. He's allowed just 2 hits and 1 run. And one spikes away back to the, here comes a run for Maulers. The control is becoming an issue here in the bottom of the 4th. He's only up to 49 pitches. That's now 8-5. Comes as 2-1. Goes secondary again, and that one goes foul.
Seems like he's just feeling a little bit more control with that secondary pitch.
Yeah, he's kind of definitely leaning off the fastball here in this inning.
Could just be arm fatigue, like we talked about. He didn't get to have a real proper warm-up like a normal guy that was going to pitch 3 innings in a game would. So just
well, he goes back to it again and makes it 2-2.
Yeah, just got to kind of collect yourself now and conserve your energy and try and get out of this inning.
So what does he have on a full count to Nate Johnson? Walks him as he misses glove side, so we're going to have runners at first and third. He's going to see at least another batter. This is Cooper Henderson. Five hits, 5 runs for Maulers, 8 runs, 7 hits for Dingers. Runners taken off for second. Karen holds. That's in for a strike. Back to 80. May have found his slot again.
Another well-placed pitch. Turns up the velo, puts it on the black.
Time called by Henderson. Another miss. Henderson is 1 for 2. He's got runners at second and third. That's down the pipe at 80.8, excuse me, for strike 2. We talked about him having a little bit better feel for the secondary in this inning. We'll see what he's got in store here. 2-2. 1 down. Henderson sends that foul down the right side.
This is a big spot right here. You got 2 strikes on him, only 1 out. Runners on second and third. You need to make something happen here if you're Dingers, and it kind of starts with Mangini on the mound. Try and settle in right here and maybe get a strikeout.
He gets it, man. Had him chasing 71. Nice set of secondary stuff there for Don Mangini to get the strikeout. Man, that was a big moment. He lived up to it, getting the K of Cooper Henderson.
Yeah, that was an impressive pitch. He kept going back to that fastball and that at bat, setting himself up to, once he got to 2 strikes, throw a breaking ball, and it worked to perfection.
Cullen McGee goes right back to the same pitch. The misses, makes it 1-0.
Hadn't quite had enough setup on that one
That's right.
for him to fall for it.
That one's gathered at third. Verdi's throw is in time to get out of it. Nice job by Don Mangini locking it down. 8-5 is the lead for Dingers as we move along to the 5th inning. We'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
We are back in our Labor Day Challenge game of the day from LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney now joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. 8-5 is the lead for Dingers over Maulers as we move along to the top of the 5th inning. Chase Job, still on the mound for Maulers, coming in relief in this last half an inning. Back to the baseball grind for you guys here on the Prep Baseball side, and as we move into this fall schedule, kind of tell me, we got the Prep Baseball Cup ahead of us, but what's what's the fall like for you, and how different is it than the grind of the summer?
It's definitely different. During the fall, you have the obstacles, especially with a lot of teams with guys playing football, so you kind of have to maneuver around that, but got a loaded fall schedule. Obviously, you discussed the PBR Cup and our underclass and upperclass World Series. The 2 weeks that follow that look to be shaping up to be 2 pretty good events for both the 25s and 26s and the 27s and 28s. But it's definitely a little more relaxed, I would say, than the summer. The summer is 7 a.m. to midnight every day, and get to spend a little more time with the family during the week too. It's only 3-4 days a week, so it's kind of a relaxed atmosphere. Guys just trying to get their work in. It's a different animal, and it's honestly, fall is really my favorite time. Everybody usually shows up in all their college football gears on Saturday, and then roll out with the NFL stuff on Sunday. So it's good. Usually good energy around the ballpark.
Yeah, been trying to lobby for us in the scoreboards to start showing college football games during the actual baseball games, but nobody seems to want to go for that.
I don't know that it would affect the players. The parents would love it. I think
the umpires would be a little.
I think that Georgia fan, and they got the ball on the 5.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, we got a pitch coming with the umpire looking to see what's who's open on the pass play, and next thing you know, you got a disaster on your hands.
That's right. Logan Arnett is at the plate for Dingers. He's going to be followed by Dom Mangini and Ansley Karen, and a leadoff walk to Logan Arnett. Talk about the number of guys from this Dingers team that see a lot of time here at LakePoint Sports. We were talking about Cole Roberts. His Prep Baseball profile shows 18 different events that he's played in.
And he's, 15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to get him a clock in here. He's going to start logging some hours.
Might set a record by the time he's done.
That's
the
right.
He's played in.
Don Mangini puts that in play, sends it down the right side, but the first baseman gathers to make the out. You're going to see Logan Arnett advance to second. Mangini, after that last inning on the mound, he's just getting himself some quick work in as he's going to go take a break. Don Mangini comes through at 6'4", 230 pounds for a high school freshman.
It's pretty good. It's crazy to think also the amount of players on this Dingers team that have been in some sort of future games or junior future games.
Yeah, we got six players. Ainsley Kieran swings through for a strike. You got Chase Alonzo, who's done it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 1 count to Ansley, who is 0 for 2 on the day. She shows bunt, pulls back. Yeah, we were going to figure out because yesterday Logan was wearing, I believe, 27. Today he's wearing number 8, and you see the mismatched uniform.
Had to make sure he had the red on red look.
That's right. 1-1 count, swings through that. Arnett takes off for third. He's going to be in time. 90 feet away from another insurance run for Dingers. So they lead 8-5. Yeah, we were going to do a broadcast yesterday that would have taken you right up to the Georgia game, so I'm glad that we were able to avoid that for your purposes. That's in for a strike and a strikeout.
I think if anybody tuning in watched the Georgia game, I probably could have missed the first half. It was, a little bit of a field goal exhibition, but turned things around there in the second half. It's always good to have college football back.
I see a Clemson paw behind home plate. I'm sure he's probably over there telling everybody else that Dabo's got to hit the transfer portal.
Him and everybody else on social media and everywhere else.
I can't fault the guy. He's had a way of doing things that has worked. It's worked in the form of national championships. It's worked in the form of guys like Trevor Lawrence. But at some point, when everything around you changes, you either adapt to it or you die. And unfortunately, it feels like at this point in time, Dabo's taking the latter and not the former.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is piling on him this morning. But when you look back at it, I think like last year was the first time since like 2015 they haven't had 10 wins in a season.
Yep.
And last year they only won 9. So
yeah.
I mean, it's like the guy's really good at winning football games, and sometimes you got to adapt a little bit. So.
Well, I mean, I hate to run down that path when we have some baseball games. That one gets away. Job's got it back though. No harm, no foul. But Mike Krzyzewski had to change in basketball. I mean, he didn't want to do the one and dones, and then all of a sudden he does. And you've got guys like, I mean, they're just absolute game changers in that program, and help them to maintain and as a elite for a very, very long time. Gets through with another strikeout. Nice job by Chase Job to get 2 Ks to end things. We're through another half an inning. 8-5 is the lead for Dingers. We'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Continues in the game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. 8-5 is the lead for Dingers over Maulers. Went from Logan Arnett at the plate. That's not Logan Arnett. We've already seen Logan Arnett hit once today. This is going to be Wesley Theory. I believe that's Wesley Theory. Go off the numbers that we've got. Theory was here for future games this past July. This is where he really made a name for himself. We've seen him at third base today, but on the mound is where I know he really has opened some eyes. A guy that's into the mid-80s with a fastball, got a curveball a little over 2,000 spin, a slider that's almost to 2,200. Norcross 2028. Going to lock things down. Man, they're just pumping out some velo with these Dingers pitchers when you go from Arnett to Mangini to Wesley Theory.
This is a talented group, especially on the mound, with the arms that they're able to roll out here in this ball game. So,
yeah, Grayson and I were talking about Ansley Karen behind the plate, and she's somebody that we have seen a lot here. And he said, I wouldn't want to go out and be catching Logan Arnett in mid-80s, and she's out there, her third pitcher into the 80s velo-wise, and Man, she can absolutely hang, regardless of if you want to talk about boys, girls, who it is. She can absolutely hang behind the plate.
Absolutely, she's performed well at I think every event that I've seen her at, and it's been a lot here. And
yes, her 10th.
Yeah, she's played here a good amount, and every time she holds her own, and she belongs on the playing baseball. So I know she did some stuff this off season. With a under 18 national team that traveled. So
I believe she was playing with the Georgia Peaches, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I had some conversations with her about it, and Grayson and I were running through this a little bit. I think there comes to a point where you have a girl playing baseball that everyone says, well, eventually she's going to have to go to go play softball. I think when you have somebody who says, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to continue to find a way to do it, I think that speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
Bryson Ivy at the plate. We're running low on time here, less than 6 minutes on the clock in this one. See how long this inning goes. Maulers is the home team. 82-5 on that pitch for Wesley Theory. Misses glove side for the leadoff walk. He's just trying to eat some clock.
Yeah, game management.
That's right. Here's Dalton Dial, and he will be followed by catcher Davis Reeves. Dial is 1 for 2. So I got a conversation at the plate. Who were you think about ranked teams yesterday in college football action, who were you most surprised that did not look impressive?
Ooh, they have to be ranked?
Yes. When you think about Oregon, the way they struggle, Michigan, the way they struggle after losing all those guys.
I think I would have to say Michigan. I mean, you have Fresno at home, and you beat them 30-10, and you're
needed late defensive touchdown to pad things.
Yeah, and your number one back taking over for Blake Corum gets like 12 carries for like 23 yards, and against Fresno, and that's not the brand of football that Michigan plays per se. They're very much like an SEC team. They're going to play defense, run the ball, things like that. So that would probably be the biggest one for me.
Skies that one into right field for the out. Runner's going to retreat to first base. I thought Oregon, I had high expectations for Dylan Gabriel. They just looked out of sorts, and it was like, this is a team that's going to, the Big Ten's no joke now that they've expanded. And
that was the biggest thing for me. Like last night, looking through scores on like the ESPN app, and it's like scrolling through the ACC, and it's like, why is Cal in the ACC?
It's going to take a while.
That's right. And then you have to think like, Oregon and Washington are now in the Big Ten. It's different.
It'll be interesting to watch it from a baseball recruiting standpoint, where a guy's going to be like, I don't know if I want to go, and like that's a lot of travel because let's say you're a kid in one of the Midwest schools, and you were like, I really want to play Big Ten ball, but then you realize, man, I got to go to UCLA and USC and Washington and Oregon for conference games. I mean, if you stay in the SEC, I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a haul to Texas and Oklahoma, but that's not nearly the same thing.
Yeah, most of those guys leave on like Thursday.
Yeah.
And so like I'm assuming that when you fly out on Thursday, get your practice in, play your 3 games, and then Sunday night you have from I don't know how far it is from, say, Columbus to Eugene or Columbus to L.A., but you have to fly all the way back on Sunday. You're getting home at 10, 11 o'clock, then you have to bounce back, go to class, work out Mondays, and then midweek on either Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll definitely be, an interesting dynamic, especially for the not just baseball, but
the
all
non-revenue sports.
Yeah, like
gymnastics and volleyball, it's
I feel bad for like even basketball guys. Like you play the Wednesday night ESPN game at, that tips off at 9. Then you have to get on a plane and fly back to wherever, a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
You get home at 8 a.m. And it's like, at what point is this being detrimental to the athlete's health, especially at that level of like what?
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Theory is not liking that runner over at first. It looks like it got away from the first baseman. Gandy's, collides with Johnny Gandy as he falls to the ground. Seen that happen a couple times for Johnny as he shakes that off and hits back to short.
That's one of those guys for the Dingers that I think is just it's a really good kid. He's really fun to be around. He's always
We were
you know,
talking about that earlier.
yeah,
just
just like
absolute personality.
Yes, good ball player, super fun. Always feels, always comes up, says hello, asks how everything's going. So, looking forward for a bright future for him.
Yeah, we saw fist bumps for the umpire and catcher each time he went to the plate. Did mention this earlier. I did one of those gear up videos where we go through what's in a guy's bag, and he brought 2 different bags, and I was like, "You're like a Dick's Sporting Goods." Or I should say Academy Sports, since they're the sponsor of the videos. But yeah, he's a lot of fun. Got Colin Thomas over there playing second base now for Dingers. Colin from Georgia Premier. Haven't seen Colin hit. I don't think he's going to get an opportunity to in this one. But they will play a game immediately after this. Dingers has U.S. Elite Mid-South. 1 down, 1 minute remaining on the clock. Davis Reeves, the catcher at the plate. Davis is 1 for 2. Got a runner at second base. Facing a 3-run deficit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Looks like we're going to time out, and this is going to be the end of the game. So let's see if Wesley Theory can lock things down and finish it off. Comes with the 2-2. Oh, just misses. What's the prep baseball rules on the arm sleeves on a pitcher?
It's the same as the high school rules, as long as it has to be the same color or a darker color, as long as it doesn't, like it's like a light yellow, white.
Gotcha.
Gray, like a light grays, where things start blending all together.
Swings through that, goes down on strikes. Nice job by Wesley Theory getting the second K. 81-8.
2 outs here. I'm going to have to ask you. I know your son's an Ohio State fan.
That's right.
Are you also an Ohio State?
Well, I went to Ohio State as a
That's
freshman,
right.
so
Okay.
yeah,
So
transferred to Bowling Green.
I need a prediction for the Buckeyes this year. Right?
They're going undefeated in the regular season.
Okay, I like that.
I just don't see any. After watching Oregon last night, I don't think there's anybody in that conference that's going to hang with them.
Freshmen
Is that
stand
back
out.
foul? Man, Jeremiah Smith looks like an absolute stud, doesn't he? I mean, that guy.
I saw like 5 plays, and I was like, I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah,
but
he's fantastic. So it's I really feel for Emeka Mbuka because he's like we were talking about this yesterday. He's always the second guy, and now his year looks like he's going to be the second guy. He's had I mean, just on and on and on every year. You got Garrett Wilson, then you had a couple years of. Then you had Chris Olave. Then you had a couple years with obviously Marvin Harrison the second, and I say Marvin Harrison the second thing in Atlanta with Harris, but Marvin Harrison Jr. And then now he's got to deal with it again with Jeremiah Smith. So not bad being the guy behind the guy when you're doing it at that level, but I'm sure looking forward to that. 0-2 is the count to Bane Bush. Down to the last strike here for Maulers. Wesley Theory misses, makes it 1-2. Yeah, obviously an exciting time with college football back, and we've got our fall baseball schedule in full swing here at LakePoint Sports. Does become a little bit tougher to pay attention to these games on Saturdays when you got college football rolling through.
especially with those big matchups.
That's right.
Come rolling through.
1-2 is the count. Theory looks back at the runner. Just misses glove side. Nice job by Bush laying off.
Your theory here, really want to attack the hitter. You don't want to let that tying run get on base, or one swing could tie up this game and kind of change where you're standing in your pool.
Yeah, we are all timed out too, so all comes down to this. Wesley Theory holds, runs the count full. Should he get on, we're going to see Connor Mitchell. Some nice play discipline here from Bane Bush. Count is full here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-on. Holds. He's going to draw a walk. So here comes Connor Mitchell. Go out and have a conversation with Theory. 18 pitches in. Again, Theory looked really good during the junior feature games. I know he was one of the guys that opened a lot of eyes playing for Georgia. Mitchell's 0 for 1. Got runners at first and second. 2 outs. Miss makes it 1-0. 3-run lead for Dingers. They scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning, added 2 in the 4th, and ended up taking over the lead.
Another mound visit here.
No, you're just ready for this one. You got to get these games rolling through. You're getting a little bit nervous here as we've already seen this one time out, and we're going a little bit over.
We're all good today. A little bit shorter schedule, so I mean, comparative to the summer, I think we're last game scheduled at 3:15 today. So get everything set up, get everybody home at a decent hour today, and bounce back for bracket play tomorrow.
Got to get everybody home to watch that LSU game tonight.
There
right?
it is.
That's right.
Definitely think they should have sprinkled a few in today, like
Yeah,
12 o'clock, maybe like a 2 o'clock start.
it's the last Sunday that you're not going to compete with the NFL for the
Yep.
next 4 months. So just, yeah, run through them. All right, 1-0 is the count to Mitchell. The interesting crossover move is Colin Thomas made the run to the spot at second base and tried to trip up Ivy. Didn't work, though.
I've never seen that one before.
I don't think I have either. I thought maybe they were running a crossing pattern there.
Never seen the second baseman on a pickoff attempt
No.
to end up on the other side.
Yep. The 2-0 from Theory misses, makes it 3-0. 1 pitch away from bringing the go-ahead run to the plate. Oh, that one goes foul. I thought that made it 3-0, but apparently it's now 2-1. Thought the count was going to be 3-1. But umpire just flashed 2-1. Down the middle for a strike, 80.9. So down to the last strike again for Maulers. Second time in this inning they faced this situation. Mitchell takes a deep breath, goes in. The 2-2, swings through that, gets himself a wild miss and finishes things off. Wesley Theory ends it on a strikeout, and Dingers are 8-5 winners over Maulers. Big pool play win for Dingers in our action. We're going to take a break here from LakePoint Sports and bring you our player of the game. Appreciate it as always stopping by, man. We'll see you soon. All right, we'll be right back with our action, and we'll bring you our player of the game. Avery Hunt steps out. We'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
To LakePoint Sports, Cory McCartney joined by our player of the game from this 8-5 win for Dinger Scout over Mauler Select in the Labor Day Challenge, Don Mangini. Don, man, appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this performance for you. You go out on the mound, 3 innings pitch, you get 4 strikeouts, then you go to the plate, get 2 runs scored off your bat.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea that you were going to be coming into this game to pitch, or what was the plan?
So I knew I was going to pitch, but I did not think it'd be the second inning. So I came in without a warm-up, and kind of my arm's sore now, but I think I did fine for not warming up.
Yeah, we saw you up to 85 with the fastball. Is that the PR, or how far have you gotten?
I've gotten 86 a month and a half ago, but that's usually when I start because I like to start games so I can warm up, do my whole routine. I mean, still, like coming into games, I'm going to try my hardest, but 85 is pretty good.
At what point then, not going through your warm-ups, did you start to feel like yourself on the mound?
The second inning. Like every time I don't warm up, it's always the next inning where I feel my best.
I mentioned we saw 4 strikeouts out of you. I thought the secondary stuff looked really sharp today. What did you feel like was working really well?
So the first 2 innings, my splitter was actually working really well. It was like knuckling a lot, so I got a few ground balls. I did get a strikeout on that. And then my curveball, like at the end I kind of lost it, but like in the beginning also felt well, which was an easy strike pitch.
So let's talk about that 3rd inning. 5 runs scored for Dingers in that one. You come through, score 2 off your bat with the sharp hit up the middle. You guys enter that inning trailing. What was the vibe like in the dugout as you guys kind of started rolling along?
I mean, in the beginning, there was a bad vibe. Like, nobody expected us to come out losing 3. Just like we were all flat-footed, and then we finally got to the guy. He had a weird, like, arm slot over the top, so it was hard to see his pitches. But once we got the lineup once, then we, like, saw his stuff, and we were on it.
Tell me about your AB coming through with that hit up the middle. There's some weirdness in that inning. You have Chase Alonso drawing the leadoff walk. There was a misplayed ball at third base on the throw to first, had a couple more runs scored. Things were kind of starting to roll your guys' way, and then you come through with the big blow.
Yeah, I think I took the first pitch for a strike, and like I think it was like down the middle, and I was like a little frustrated because like pitch right down the middle, and then I saw a fastball low or a changeup. He was kind of sitting like 73, so I was a little out in front, but I got the barrel to it. Little outside pitch, put it up the middle, get to RBIs.
We've got you from being from Delaware. Tell me how are you playing for Dinger Scout this weekend?
So I guest played with them in the PG WWBA a month ago, and that's when I hit like 86. I hit good with them. They invited me to come, and so this weekend I flew in yesterday because I had a wedding, and I was at the airport for 6 hours because my car rental, like we had the reservation, but they didn't have any cars, so I was there till 2 in the morning, and I came here with 2 hours of sleep to come play.
I got to tell you, I can't wait to see what you're able to do then when you get a full night's rest and you're able to go through your full warm up on the mound. But man, congratulations on a great performance today, Don Mangini, our player of the game from Dinger Scout, 8-5 winners over Maulers in our game of the day from the Labor Day Challenge. We'll be right back as we close things out from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
And a key pool play game and Labor Day Challenge action goes to Dinger Scout, 8-5 winners over Mauler Select. We'll be back with more coverage from the Baseball Village next week for the Prep Baseball Fall Open. You'll be able to find that free on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you join us for that, and keep your eyes on all the LakePoint Sports social channels, as we'll have more coming to you later this week for telecast times and the teams involved in that game of the week. Until then, for Grayson, Rosen, Avery Hunt, and producer Jack McCartney, I'm Cory McCartney, signing off from LakePoint Sports.